Oh, dude, I tell you, man, so much of this is like football. We're over here getting ready to kick off, and we had some technical issues. We had the legend Denny Fithian on the phone, and I don't know what he did. His presence on the phone just got us up and running.
It's like being a freshman, your first day of practice with the whole team. You don't know which way to put your helmet on, but man, you figure it out quick.
Denny to the rescue, man. Before we get going, last time Duuer and I were on, we screwed you guys. We didn't take questions. We were negligent. It ain't happening again. We're going to get to them questions before we go to film, and then we'll get questions again after we go to film. But a lot of good stuff going on in the Big Ten. You got Penn State going to UCLA and beating UCLA on the road. And, that game to me, it's like the essence of coaching and leadership. I'm going to get into it and I'm going to let you go. But it's like Penn State come off a tough loss, and we can relate this as players and coaches. They have a tough loss at home, national television, guys banged up. Now they got to go fly 3,000 miles, play an 0-4 team. They made a coaching change. They got an interim coach that wants to keep that job. They got players fired up. They go out and win that football game. It was like a perfect storm for James Franklin to be, to really test your leadership. And they didn't get it done. So I like seeing what I like seeing about that is the UCLA interim coach finding a way to turn that thing around. I'm disappointed that James Franklin, as a leader, because this is the essence of leadership. You and I saw Schembechler for 5 years always have our football team ready to play. After a tough loss, after a big win, one way or another, we were ready to go. I just wanted to compliment the UCLA interim guys. I'm questioning the leadership of Franklin because you got to find a way to get it done.
Jim. All right. Looks like you froze up for a second. And I give credit to the UCLA players because they obviously played with a lot more enthusiasm. They believed in themselves. They get this new offensive coordinator, Neuheisel's son, and he took the job over on Tuesday, I think. And they just played inspired ball, and it is a tough spot to be in. But Penn State really, I don't think Penn State lost this game. This is UCLA stepping up. Those players played really well. Their quarterback was impossible to stop. You talk about how Bo had us ready every time. Well, the one time I remember we weren't ready is we were undefeated in 1986, going into the second to the last game against Minnesota. And I'm telling you, we thought we were going to win that game. When we went into the stadium for warm-ups, I knew we weren't ready because it was dead. The crowd was dead. The team was dead. Warm-ups were flat. And I think everybody just assumed, well, this is a formality, beat Minnesota. Then we're playing Ohio State next week to be undefeated, the Big Ten champs. And we ended up losing to a mobile quarterback, Ricky Foggy. And that's what happened to Penn State Saturday. It was a really great effort by those guys. That quarterback tore up Penn State's defense. That's where Penn State failed. The offense was pretty good. Aller was pretty good. Some of the decisions that James Franklin has been known to kind of choke away, they weren't there really. But, man, UCLA stood up tall. It was a great win. It was fun to watch. And now Penn State, who was ranked second and had quite a few of the first-place votes in the preseason, they are 0-2 in the Big Ten.
Yeah, Michigan's 2-0. Yeah, and that quarterback, he looked like the $4 million guy that he wanted from Tennessee. He played like that. The coaches put him in a position to use his talents. Yeah, they look like a totally different team. And you got to give credit to those players and those coaches for, the dude fired guys. He gets the intern job. He rifled 3 coaches. He brought in a guy. He brought in an analyst who was on some other staff somewhere to work on the defense. I mean, this guy's they're fighting for their jobs. So I just like seeing leadership like that, man, that finds a way to galvanize the players.
You talk about changing. They changed defensive coordinators. He got rid of that guy. And Penn State had that ball late in the game, and they were running a fourth down play, and it was going to be basically a zone read keep. And you watch those UCLA edge defenders, they played it perfectly. The outside guy took the running back, the inside guy took the quarterback, and they stuffed him for no gain on that fourth down. They really played well. That was a really fun game to watch.
Yeah, it was great. And now Michigan State has to deal with them. So that's always good when Michigan State has to play, somebody tougher. So that's a 7-point line there. And Michigan State finds a way to that was the guy that we hadn't seen that Childs. We haven't seen that kid, the turnover guy. He hasn't been because they thought they buried him last year. Well, he surfaced again. And Michigan State can move the football if he just secures the ball a little bit. I think they're a well-coached team, but he found a way to turn the ball over, not help their offense. I think they had like 5 turnovers and a block punt, and you're still in the game against Nebraska. But they got to deal with UCLA. And anyway, your thoughts on that Michigan State, Nebraska?
Well, and now, so talking about 0-2 in the Big Ten, Michigan State's 0-2, and now their backs are up against the wall a little bit. This is a team that hasn't been to a bowl game. They thought this was the year. They got an upperclassman in Aiden Childs. They got out all that interception and poor decision-making last year. And, man, he didn't throw for 100 yards, threw 2 interceptions. He got hurt, dinged up a little bit. And honestly, if I'm Jonathan Smith, I think I'm making a change at quarterback because that backup came in and he looked pretty sharp. He completed all but one of his passes, let him down on a scoring drive, if I remember right. But I thought he looked really crisp. And, like Nick Marsh was not their leading receiver. And you got to get that guy the ball. As a matter of fact, you saw him and Aiden Childs get into it a little bit on the sidelines. I think Michigan State's at a big crossroads here because if they lose to UCLA, they're 3-3. They're 0-3 in the Big Ten. And you know how your dauber can get down. It's just a landslide of, oh, crap, here we go again. And, it not a happy time up at East Lansing right now.
If I'm defending Michigan State, I don't want to defend Child's ability to run and all the athleticism, but I'm hoping that he's going to give me 1 or 2. He's going to throw one to me. The other guy, he might not run as well, but he's probably not going to make the mistakes. Are we locking up again? Are you hearing me good?
I can hear you. You locked up for a second, but
okay.
The decision-making is a problem. And some of the passes just are not accurate, man. He is missing guys badly. Jonathan Smith is coaching for his career too, for his job. This is year 3. They should not be staring down the barrel of an 0-3 conference start the 3rd year with an upperclassman at quarterback and a stud at wide receiver. But their defense isn't that good. Their special teams was terrible Saturday. Man.
Yeah. Anyway, I just want to focus on the people we're going to play primarily. So we looked at the Washington-Maryland game, and Washington is a good football team. They've got a real good coach, a good quarterback who's elusive, and they went out there sleepwalking. They traveled 3,500 miles, 3,000 miles. They started out in a fog, and Maryland took it to them. Went up 20-0.
Yeah.
And Maryland, Washington has better players. They've got a pretty good offensive line. They're a good defensive court, and they found a way to come back and get it done. And in one way or another, Loxley finds a way to lose often. But we got to play both of those guys. I'm glad we have Washington at home. We go to Maryland, but Washington's quarterback is for real. And, those are both football games that we're going to have to secure the football, play smart, winnable games, but we're watching them.
Those are 2 good young quarterbacks, Malik Washington for Maryland, Damon Williams for Washington. I was watching the highlights of that game, and and yeah, Maryland got out to a 20-0 start, but it looked like if you weren't looking at the scoreboard, it looked like a pretty even match with maybe a little bit swinging towards Washington's way for those first 3 quarters. There was some decent defense. There was a couple of bad passes, and they threw to interceptions. But Maryland, it turns to October, and Maryland remembers their Maryland. Yeah. And it's unbelievable because they've done this for a handful of years now under Loxley as they get off to a good start. And then, man, it just goes right in the can once the calendar hits October.
Yeah, that's leadership, man. The Buckeyes now. We looked at the Buckeyes in Minnesota, and I'm watching that game, and PJ went and got a good quarterback. This kid's good. I think maybe he's a redshirt freshman. I don't know if he's a true. Anyway, he's good. He's a good player. Looks like Drake May to me type kid. Athletic, accurate kid. Anyway, PJ went out there to Columbus and just said, we're not going to try to run the football. I mean, he threw it, and PJ don't want to throw it like that. But I think he just said, we can't run the ball on these guys. And Ohio State's got some players up front, and Matt Patricia is stopping the run pretty damn good. I'll give him that. But anyway, Minnesota gave up on the run. They're playing it. The Buckeyes are looking good. But they got a number 4. But you know what, dude? We got a number 4 too that's starting to surface too, man. Our guy is right there. Our guy athletically. Anyway, the Buckeyes look good. We know what they are. Our talent's as good as them. Our quarterback's going to be as good as their guy. When it's who's gonna make play. Anyway, I feel good about that game. They are what they are. They're good on defense. And any thoughts on that? On where you think the Buckeyes are?
No, I put that game on and I watched Minnesota have a decent first drive. I thought they were moving the ball pretty well. Of course, you get down close to the goal line. That's where the money is made. And Ohio State continues to keep people out of the end zone. Their defense is pretty tough. They haven't played any really good offenses. They're going to play Illinois this week, and that's going to be at least a decent test. Illinois getting blown out by IU. Every other game, they're scoring points. And as a matter of fact, their quarterback leads the conference. He has thrown 0 interceptions, and he's right up there at the top with yards. Be an interesting test for Ohio State to kind of see how they look against a better defense and a better offense and a better quarterback. But, they're ranked number 1 for a reason, and their defense is legit.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be nice to see Illinois have some success and move the ball and find out some weaknesses in what they're doing. We got to see. We haven't seen it yet. Anyway, beating USC, man, because that's what's going to happen Saturday. USC, to me, let's just look at their offense. First of all, Lincoln Riley, I got a ton of respect for him. He's a damn good offensive coach. Stoops went and got him and found him because he was like the hot offensive guy. He was doing things a lot of guys weren't doing. He brought him to Oklahoma because he's a smart guy. Coaches know other smart guys. Sure. You know what I mean? So he brought him to Oklahoma, and he's doing creative things, and he got Oklahoma winning, got the job. Anyway, he's a smart dude. He doesn't just win with talented players. He has schematic stuff that gives you problems, and he's always done that. So he does a lot of things on offense that we're starting to see it all though more now, dude. You know what I mean? Defensive coaches are getting used to a lot of the stuff that Lincoln brought in, but he always seems to have something new, some things that are, put you in conflict when I watch some of the little tweaks that he does to mess with the defense. So Wink has his hands full schematically. Now they got a quarterback that he's like our guy. He's a big, tall, athletic kid. He'll step up in the pocket. He'll get outside the defense. They'll run him on predetermined runs. So smart coach, athletic quarterback, like a mirror image of our guy. And offensively, they're very similar to us in a lot of ways. I think he wants athletic. He likes guards and tackles that can pull. He does a ton of pulling. We do a great deal. but it's in a lot of ways, it's a kind of a mirror image of a lot of the things we do offensively. So stopping them, get a handle on the quarterback, no big plays. Try to get him boxed in so he can't step up in the pocket as much as he'd like, but really adjust to all the little tweaks that Lincoln Riley wants to do. What are your thoughts on stopping USC?
Well, so Jaden Mayava, 70% completion rate. He's number one in the Big Ten in 1,587 yards. He's completing 16.2 yards per completion. He's got 11 TDs and 1 interception. This is a strong offense. They got a good running back. The running back is right up there statistically with Justin Haynes. He's second in a lot of categories, second behind Haynes. And then their receiver, Mekhi Lemon, he's number one in yards. He's got 5 TDs. A Lincoln Riley offense, man, they are going to move the ball. They're going to throw it deep. They're going to find your seams. Wink has been trying a lot of different things and zone blitzes and a lot of zone work. We're dropping defensive ends into coverage and blitzing linebackers. I don't know if you're going to need to waste time trying to disguise coverage and drop in ends as much as you just need to be very, very sound in what you do, whether you're playing man or whether you're playing zone. You have got to be head on a swivel, looking up receivers coming into your zone or leaving your zone, and you need to get to your spot quick because these guys know how to find the space. Now, can the offensive line for USC handle the defensive guys for Michigan? We're not getting a ton of pressure from our interior guys, but we do have Barham and Moore on the edge, and we're blitzing the linebackers a fair bit. But we're going to continue to do that because he's been doing it all season so far.
Yeah, everything. I looked at USC. I've watched a couple games they played, and I looked this morning. Every play, he wants to put that ball in the gut of a back. So everything starts with a mesh point, and you know what that conflict gives you because you always got to defend run, and then everything comes off of that. So everything starts with if I was coaching our defense, say, okay, look, and we do a ton of it too. Everybody's doing a lot of it, but he's always starting with putting the ball in a mesh point and screens. He likes a lot of screens, and they do a good job with screens. And he'll have some trick plays. They had a big trick play against. Trick plays are you can't really prepare for trick plays. Your defense will always, your scheme will always protect you with that. But
you got it. So Wisconsin ran a couple of trick plays. One was the reverse. And the reason that those work so well is because your defensive line has got their ears pinned back and they're so hell-bent on getting to the ball carrier that sometimes you abandon the backside, which is what happened. But in that Wisconsin game, they did that reverse. And, man, Rod Moore got shot out of a cannon. I literally was sitting in my seats, saw the reverse happen, and I thought, damn, they got us. And then this flash went across the field. That was Rod Moore. He looked great. So you have to, yes, they're going to run some trick plays and some backside stuff. You have to stay super disciplined, which is just, it's as far as where you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to guard the backside. And we'll see some of it on the film. Sometimes we get a little bit overzealous to try and get to the ball carrier and leave some spaces that you can't do, or they'll cook you on that, especially if you're a screen team.
Yeah. The big thing they'll do where I think, listen, he's damn good on offense. They got athletes, this, that. But you know what? Let's get down in that 15-yard line. That's where I think we got to hold in the field goals. That's where we got to win this game. Keep them to 3. Let's try to take the ball away a couple times. Wink's got to have a great plan. Players got to execute. They got to play a real damn good football. This is a huge challenge. I said it, this ain't no different than beating the Buckeyes at home. That's how tough this game is going to be to win.
Yeah.
We got to go there. And let's talk about their defense. This is where I think we're better, okay? I looked at their film. Illinois moved the football on this team physically. They moved them. I think USC has some average defensive tackles. Now, their defensive coordinator worked under Wink. So he's a Wink guy. right? He's doing a lot of the same stuff Wink does. I think he's a little more conservative. I don't think he's as exotic, but the base and the foundational stuff is there. But I look at their defense. I see good football players, but I think we're going to move their two inside guys. That's a position group that Illinois moved those guys around a little bit. They had success there. Chip has to have a hell of a game, okay? Because I watched the Illinois put 40 on that team, and their offensive coordinator did a great job. He had USC spinning. They were unpredictable. They were doing a lot of things. And we got to run, and we're going to have to run the quarterback, I think, against this team. Predetermined runs. You don't want to run them, but I think a little bit of it will put that defense in conflict. So I look at this team. Let's secure the damn football. Chip have a great scheme. Put them in conflict. Bryce have a good game. Let's make the kind of plays we made last week. But I do think we can physically move this football team. If Illinois could, I think we can physically run our power and our zone and our stuff that we want to run.
We're going to need to use the run to set up the pass. The one team that USC lost to was Illinois, and Illinois got a really good quarterback. Doesn't throw interceptions. I already mentioned that. Bryce is going to be on the road. It's still a tough environment. You are traveling a long way. You had mentioned attacking those two guys in the defensive line, and I think we're going to need to do that. We're going to need to have to use this run and be successful in this run to make the pass game succeed. Bryce isn't going to throw it all over the field. They have a really good safety back there, and they got a good linebacker. I can't remember his name. Eric Gentry, linebacker. He's got 30 tackles. He's second in the league with 30 tackles, and he's their safety has got 20, and he's got 3 interceptions. He's tied for first in the conference with the most interceptions. They also have this DE Shelby, who has 3.5 sacks. So we got to attack that. We got to use our blocking scheme and our physicality to create these holes that we've seen. We've seen it happen all season long. Get those guys to get their safeties up, get them to start thinking about stopping the run, and then use that with play action pass or RPOs to find these receivers. And we're going to need everybody to chip in. Marsh had a really good game. It's nice to see that because we're going to need him and McCulley at the receiver. But I think we got to get Klein involved in that. And honestly, use the running backs out of the backfield. We haven't used that too much. I wonder how well they catch it, Dude. I wonder if that's an issue. I don't know. We don't know, if they have confidence in their ability to catch the football. You froze up. What was that?
I wonder if it's maybe do they have confidence in their ability to catch the football? I don't know why they don't throw it as much. We threw it a lot more with Donovan, Yeah.
Well, Donovan was known as a really good receiver coming out of high school, and that was one of the things a lot of fans had wondered, why aren't we using this guy? Because he wasn't getting the yards from the line of scrimmage, running the ball as much. So, hey, let's use this guy as a receiver. He can beat any linebacker that tries to cover him or safety. But it's just kind of not what we do. But I think slipping a back out into the flat I think it's going to be there. We haven't done it much.
Yeah. Because
we have Samaj Morgan, who they seem to have a pretty good thing, Bryce and Samaj. Bryce is throwing some really pretty balls on that motion to the flat, and he leads them perfectly. The ball is right in the right spot. He doesn't have to hesitate or break his stride. That's a great play. That's it's basically a sweep from back in our days. Get the ball out to the edge and let this guy outrun people.
Yeah, Bryce is laser beam accurate there. But, closing up on SC, Lincoln Riley does a great job making you defend horizontally, vertically, every gap, everything. Okay, he puts you in conflict. Wink's got to be great. The Coliseum, I've been to a game there during the regular season. Okay, it's okay, but it ain't like going it ain't going to be like Michigan State. It ain't going to be like going to Washington. they don't get as loud and nasty and disruptive for your offense. But
it's a sold out game. It'd be
a lot of Michigan down there.
There's going to be a lot of Michigan.
Damn right there is. And the one last thing, they got the pupil over there running that defense, but you know what they don't have? They don't have the OG. I'm going to leave it on that. We got the OG, man. Any other thoughts on SC?
No, it's going to be it's a night game out there. Michigan. So we had seen teams that fly coast to coast struggle a little bit. Just ask Penn State. So they're moving. They're flying out on Thursday. Sharon said in an effort to try and combat that jet lag and all the travel one day and playing the next. He's going to take the team out there on Thursday. They're going to get the practice at the Chargers' new facility, multi-million-dollar facility. It's good to know Jim, and good that Jim had us into his house. So they're doing what needs to be necessary. I think that's a smart play. Night game out there, it's going to be a lot of fun. If we do our stuff, if we are able to block, we need to pick up the blocking a little bit, but I'm looking forward to this game. We're an underdog too, so that's good.
Yeah, I see that. Like 2.5 points.
Yeah.
Dude, let's transition to Michigan a little bit before we get into the film. A couple things. I'm just really feeling good about where we are, where Sharon Moore is and has this program. I like our talent level. I think we're up there with. I think the top four with talent is Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. USC is right there. You can make the argument, but I just think our talent level is good. I think we're 2-0 in the Big Ten with a true freshman quarterback, and I like where we are. I looked at this last game, You know what you didn't see? You didn't see any stupid penalties, unsportsmanlike dancing in front of the opponent. I think Sharon Moore had a talk with his team. I think he had a talk with his coaches. I think that when he parks his car every day, he's got to walk by that statue. You know that statue I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, right out in front of this.
Yeah,
right
that statue that used to talk about team. None of this individual dancing, whatever it is, after a play. So I think the statue spoke to him, and I think he spoke to his team, and I think we're done with that stuff. So that was great to see. I saw a noticeable difference against.
Sharon follows me on Twitter, and so he sees my Sunday morning review, and he saw that tweet that I put out about how this stuff had to stop and Sharon had to address it. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't the statue that got him to talk to the team. It was me. Let's be honest.
Hey, but you know what, man? He's a young coach still. He's a young leader. He's been around great coach. He worked, he played for Stoops. He's been around, but he's the guy. So, he's learning all these little things. What can I allow these guys to get away? Sometimes you gotta tighten things. But anyway, I'm hoping that we're done with that. And,
up there.
What else do I have before we get into this thing? I looked at, with Wisconsin, I thought their offensive coordinator was kind of smart. He found some weaknesses in what we were doing. We go out, we get this quarterback who ain't never played before, and the kid was pretty damn good. He was not a stiff. That is a Big Ten football team that had real good offensive linemen. Wisconsin doesn't have the skill guys. Hayden Fry used to say when he built Iowa, I'm going to get my heart and soul from Iowa, but I'm going to get my legs and limbs from like New Jersey, Ronnie Harmon and those people. You know what I mean? I look at Wisconsin and I see big, tough dudes and their defensive front. You'll see we didn't move them around much, man. They're good up front, good offensive, but he's got to get some skill. He doesn't have the skill guys.
Right. He's running out of time to find those skill guys. He's going to have to. I thought they looked pretty good, and they came out on that first drive, and they didn't do anything fancy. they were well prepared for what Wink has shown he wants to do, which is these zone blitzes, and they found that open hole in the middle. But the quarterback was first time starting for Wisconsin, his first Power 4 conference start. He had started only a few games at, I think, Northern Illinois or wherever he was from, but he looked good. He was 3 for 3 on the initial drive, and they just marched down the field. It was a little discouraging to watch. However, they didn't do squat after that.
Yeah.
So whatever it was a wake-up call to watch them drive down, and I'm sure that Wink told him, hey, get your head in the game here. We got to do what we got to do. But they don't have the skill, guys, and that quarterback can't chuck the ball a mile, and they don't have receivers that can take the top off, and they don't have a running back that's able to. Michigan dominated in the trenches as far on defense, and the linebackers had a great game.
Yeah. Dude, I'm going to jump on some of these comments and questions. You, Robbie, one of our loyal listeners, man, he's saying that we got to play defense and have a running game to go out at USC, man. That's what we're hoping. We got to line up and adjust to all that Lincoln Riley stuff and be great in the red zone, man. To Aaron Terenzi, go blue. All right. Having more conducting. Let's see what else. Oh, he's talking about the snap count. That was a nice thing on the goal line. We're on the 3-yard line, and Bryce gets out there, and we get him jumping off sides.
Yeah, smart.
That's coaching. That's 11 dudes, discipline. Penn State, UCLA is a case study. It's a case study in leadership. There's so much of the game is mental, man. Getting your players ready, getting the coaches got to get ready. Trying to see if there are any other comments.
Well, David says that Wisconsin is just mid, and I don't disagree with that. But they're still Big Ten players, and you can't take them lightly. Ask Penn State what happens when you take UCLA lightly. Just because they're 0-4 doesn't mean that they don't have talent and they're not D1 scholarship players. Wisconsin is big line. They're tough, and you got Mike Tressel, the guy who worked with D'Antonio at Michigan State when he was beating the hell out of Michigan too often. So Tressel knows, hey, you got to play this solid quarters type defense. Safety's going to get their nose dirty, and that's what they did. They could be mid all you want, but you still got to go out and play because they're still quality players.
Yeah. People talking DTWA, Wink blitz too much. It's a fine line, man, between blitzing too much and trying to put a team in conflict and trying to get to them. And I understand the other side of that argument. But dude, we're going to work. I'm going to get over to this film and go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead. No, he is blitzing more. Statistically speaking, he's blitzing more than we have in the last 5 years. But I don't know that you're going to see that Oki's zero lineup where against Nebraska where they threw a touchdown pass because our safety was within the box. I don't think you'll see that anymore, but he's not changing on this zone blitzing that he's doing.
Yeah. He is what he is, man. Anyway, dude, let me know when you got the film in front of you.
Fire away.
All right. You're ready to roll?
Let's go.
All right. First play of the game. I listen, man, Barham will rush the quarterback, but this is a mental mistake by him. We're slanting the defense to the left, and we're bringing a safety corner. I believe it's a safety off the edge. And Barham.
I don't see the film. I don't see it yet.
You don't see it yet?
No.
All right, let me get back to where
It's just us two ugly mugs out there.
Still,
Give these people something up. Now we're cooking.
Again, man, give the freshman a break here. I'm not Denny Fithian, man. Denny's the legend, man. I'm still jacked up over here. Anyway, we're bringing – you got me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're bringing safety blitz off the edge. Barham has to know this. He's the second guy inside here. And I played this position and coached it. If I got my safety coming off the edge, I'm coming flat. I am coming flat. Barham needs to be flatter down here. He needs to be killing. Nothing crosses his face. He should be right shoulder hitting everything. And he gets upfield. we got two guys outside there. You see that, dude?
Yeah, no, that was a mistake for sure.
That's a mistake.
Now,
He just got
there's
needs reps.
there's a chance that Metcalf was supposed to curl under. Who knows?
Yeah, it could have been.
But somebody was supposed to be inside, and somebody was supposed to be outside.
Yeah, you're right. We ran both stunts like that, but I don't see Wink running much of that. We used to call that slice, where the corner, the outside guy will come underneath, and I would come outfield and contain. But I don't see Wink running a lot of that. But I understand what you're saying, that Barham would contain and he would come under.
Yep.
But I haven't seen much of that from Wink. Anyway, we got to get it straightened out because it should have been a 2-yard loss. Wink had the right defense called, and we didn't execute it. We can't do it against. You get the right defense call. We got to get him stopped. We got to make it happen. Dude, this is.
So this is going to be an RPO. We're in a nickel, right? And we're gonna go ahead here. You can see we're nickel. They're going to run an RPO. We're in cover 2 back here. That quarterback has his eyes on the safety, and we got to make sure we don't have these seams. The edge out here, Barham is going to get a little too far upfield. We only have 2 defensive tackles, and we're going to bring a linebacker up. Safety has got to come up as soon as he can. As soon as he sees the ball handed off, he's got to get there a little bit quicker. He's got to protect against the pass because it's an RBO and we're in the zone defense. He's got to protect against the quarterback pulling that ball and throwing it to that wide receiver right at the first down marker. So he has to honor this pass until he is sure it's a run. Yeah. Now that he's still got to wait. Ball hasn't been handed off according to the safety yet, right? Yeah. But it's a good play. We're just a little too spaced out. We're kind of in a passing defense, and they ran a run on us, which is going to happen.
Yeah, that's how everything starts this week, man, is with the RPO.
Yeah.
And 3rd and 1, I didn't have this one marked, but they convert. They're tough and short yardage. They are physical up front. We're in the base here in a 1st and 10 defense, and I'm questioning how we're blitzing here. Payne had a pretty decent football game.
Yeah, he did. This is the kind of game that he would succeed in.
Yeah.
This is just a well-prepared team that, hey, when you see this fire blitz, all right, you're going to have, and look, we're asking Cam Brandt, number 9 down here on the right edge. We're asking him to fake this blitz so the tackle has to address him and then get back in coverage. And Cam Brandt is not a coverage guy. This is a new guy. He's not experienced with this. This is asking him a lot. This is a good job by Wisconsin's coaches to, hey, man, here's where we can exploit these guys and not ask our quarterback to do too much.
Dude, we did this. I was asked to do this as a coach. The question is he a hook player here? Are you trying to tell him to get back here? But I'm questioning how I understand bringing both backers. Okay, people do it. But I think this backer should work inside shoulder. So maybe this guy will come free. I don't know that you want to nose him up. You know what I mean? How we're coaching that?
Yeah. Well, and honestly, the interior defensive line has got to get more pressure. They weren't getting very much pressure.
Yeah, I don't like how he's nosing him up. I'd like to see him work inside here because it looks like this back is getting both these guys while the tackle comes down on him. Anyway, we're trying, and there's a big seam in there, and they find it, and they convert.
Yeah.
Eno Edo's got to get lower. He's the 5th defensive tackle. This is not a good look by him. They're working with him. He's a tall kid. I stood next to him, dude. He's every bit, 6'5", maybe even 6'6", but he's got to get lower. He's just getting knocked off the ball there. That's way too much.
Yeah, you're right about that.
And this isn't toughness. This is, you can talk all day about everything, but this is all technique. This is, the kid has got to know and play low. This is technique. You can get this done, man. He's just got to, there ain't nothing up high.
Yeah, that's basically the 2nd defensive line. You got Williams in there, and what's the guy's name? The kid, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he was playing at the left tackle and Etta on the right.
But he can't stand up. That's
nope, 100%.
There ain't nothing standing up but a butt chewing in film session.
Right.
It's all there. Okay, let's see what we got here, dude.
So, it's another RPO. He's going to have his eyes on that guy. So I put the thumbs down over Hausman, because if you watch, see how he steps to his right there, there, right? So that's not his gap.
Yeah.
He needs to be outside of that. It's a big ask, and he does get over the top, and he does make contact with the linebacker, or with the running back. He's just a little too nosy there, and it gets him out of spot. Now you got to make a tackle here, but listen, that running back's an athlete too. So
let me just say this: you're an old linebacker. I'm an old edge guy. So there's my players. I used to coach the edge when I was a head coach. My players said, "Man, coaches, you don't want to play," because I'm always going to be critical more of my edge anyway, and look at things from the whole defensive perspective. I understand you because you're an old inside backer. But I see this guy here not good enough, and I see this guy here not helping that linebacker. That inside defensive lineman needs to clog this up and not get knocked off the ball. Help this backer. This edge player needs to squeeze more, punching in here, hold this double team here, not put that linebacker on an island so he can come up and make a. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you're right, 100%.
So there's a huge seam in there because this guy's too far upfield.
Right,
this
and
guy's
that's why I have
waxed.
that line there.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I guarantee you, all three of them got, were questions in film session. You know what I mean?
That drive was we really didn't put in the right effort last week leading up to this game, but they woke up.
Anyway, I like this stuff, man. I know people might say, but I like when a team comes to Michigan Stadium on the very first play of the game. Well, we ain't running off tackle all the time. Sometimes we are, but here he is with a little razzle dazzle. We run. This is not a high risk play, and we get the penalty. But I'm not questioning that. Couple good things here. We're not really moving this Wisconsin front. But we find a way to get in the end zone with some good reading by Granera. I mean, you look at the tight end block, dude. This is not knocking someone off the ball. Let's go real slow. Let's watch Klein here. Okay. Klein is not getting much movement here at all. In fact, he's getting, he's not gaining much real estate. But what he's not doing, or what he is doing, at least he's allowing this guard to pull out here, and come down the line of scrimmage. So Guarnera is reading and coming right off of Klein's butt. Okay, so he's going to read this thing, and he sees this guy's now going to try to wrong arm it. So he's wrong arming. Now, Bredesen is now reading that block. He sees he's wrong arming. So now how's this guy taking on Bredesen? He's wrong arming too. He's making it bounce. So the running back reads both of those blocks, and we get in the end zone. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, I think that's an impressive block by Guarnera. That's not hard. That's not easy to come around the end and log that guy.
Yeah, let's take this a good angle. Yeah, you're right. And it's he's got to read this thing.
Yeah, because that defender is going to try and get out. He sees that
at the last second. Yeah, he works inside.
Yeah. It's well coached and well blocked. Good job.
Yeah, and it's a good job by the running back to not try to jam it in there.
Right.
So that's a good score, good drive.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, good answer. I like there's 4 D linemen I really like. Payne is doing good things. What is Payne doing here? I just like how I just talked about it earlier on the goal line, how there was movement, and here's Payne playing at the line of scrimmage. Let's go real. I like Rolder too, how he meets the line of scrimmage, but Payne is holding firm at the line of scrimmage. I like how Rolder smashes 300-pound linemen.
Yeah.
And now there's nothing there. So let's take it from the beginning. I really, you watch Rolder. I just think he's playing physical. He's playing good physical football.
That's Trey Pierce in the middle there. Yeah. This is really well played because he's getting double teamed.
Yeah, and let's see how Barham. I like Rolder. I like Pierce, and let's see what Barham's doing there. He's not bad. He's punching, playing at the line. Anyway, that's great defense. I get excited. Dude, I get excited over 1 yard gains.
Yeah, of course, man.
You know, everybody's looking for the highlight. No, man. Scar likes I like the 1 yard, we stuffed their ass plays. This is a nice tackle. I like this. Left shoulder. Earlier in the game, guy beat him on the outside, and now he comes up left shoulder, Barry.
Yeah, this is his first game back.
Yeah. Now I have a question mark here. We're slanting to the left. What's the down and distance? 3rd and 5. Oh, he misses them. See, again, this is just reps, dude. You a couple more games. This is game 5 for him. Actually, the first game he was still playing linebacker, right, Barham?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's got it when you're slanting underneath this tackle here. He's got to have his eyes up. He beats him clean. And now you've got to have your eyes up and look at feeling that mesh point. And he just doesn't see it. He should have been killing that thing, hitting him right in the chops.
Yeah, I think he was expecting the quarterback to keep it.
But I got to believe that's not his responsibility. I wonder how they're coaching it. All I know is if I'm coaching this thing, my guy's going to know. You know what I mean? He's got to know. Are you a quarterback or dive guy? You don't give them both. Or sometimes I coach it to kill the mesh point. Sometimes that's how I would coach it, to just smash the mesh point. But he's not doing either. Yeah, I guess
that play was dead, but
yeah, it should have been it should have been. I think Wink had a good defense call, but we got to make the play.
Yeah. Watch this.
These guys, dude, I'm going to have to step up. You got coloring, you got cartoons, you got, but you're seeing the same thing I'm seeing. This is disruptive. Rolder times it up well. It's 1st and 10, and he's smashing dudes.
I mean, he rocks that guy back 2-3 yards.
That's a huge factor in that errant pass. So Wink called it up right. And this is the wham play that, it's hard to defend.
Great job by watch Sullivan. Just watch him. If you're watching this, watch him scrape over the top right into the hole. Right. That's just great reading and reacting. He's square to the line of scrimmage the whole way. It's really good linebacker play for a young.
What do you think he's reading, dude? What do you think they have him reading? The back?
I think he's reading. So I think he's reading, guard to nearest back. And,
so what's the guard doing? The guard is blocking out, down. The guard is blocking down. So he knows that play is not coming to his right. Right?
Right. And he sees that the quarterback opened to his right. So to Sullivan's left, and look at the track of the running back. Now, the problem here would be if this was a counter, but Trey Williams was going to eat up the counter. I think it's just real good linebacker. It's just good instincts.
The guard block is saving him. This is what Coach Mo would talk about, right? Believe your keys. The guard is blocking. The guard is blocking so that the play would go this way, right? Am I right with that?
The quarterback's opening up to his right. So initially, you had mentioned it last time. The linebackers have 2 gaps they got to take. Yeah. You got a play side gap and you got a backside gap, right? You can't abandon the front side gap until you are sure that the ball is going to the backside. And then you got to scrape over and get to that gap. And he does it perfectly. Yeah.
This is a tough play to defend. We run it a little bit. We scored a touchdown on it. If you want, we're not real sure. I know you weren't really sure how they were blocking it either. But anyway, it's something that defensive linemen don't see is a trap from the outside in. Most people will trap from inside out. You know what I mean? So
we ran one ourselves, and Haynes picked up a big gain on it.
That's right. Okay. Anyway,
good job by Sullivan, man.
That's good. Good read.
Oh, was that Rolder? Son of a gun! I thought that was Sullivan.
What do you got here, Do?
I just don't know. So I don't know if Haynes is picking up the wrong guy or what, because the linebacker is left totally unblocked, the play side linebacker. So you see that Bredesen's got that guy, and nobody has that linebacker. And I just think there maybe was some miscommunication here.
Well,
as good as Haynes is, and he is tremendous, his blocking is not nearly as good as his running, which I guess that's okay.
I talked about this last week that people in the Big Ten defending Michigan now you come in on Monday and you're an edge player against Michigan, you're going to have to spend a lot of time working on this, reach, contain, because Michigan wants to do it. And the kid from Wisconsin does a pretty good job here, but that's fine. But they have to work on it. And it opens up run games. It opens up things when they really have to honor the outside, rollout stuff.
Yeah. Take what you can get. Oh, yeah. That's the second time he's fumbled. He fumbled in the Oklahoma game, and he fumbled here. He's going to have to secure that ball better.
All right, what's the down and distance? 1st and 10. What do I like about this play? Yeah, ain't not much. Ain't no movement. I like this. Playing at the line of scrimmage. We got some flat backs. I got number 9 punching. I like he's a physical kid. Brandt's playing. Again, Scar getting excited over a 1-yard game. But I like Brandt punching in here, not getting knocked off the ball. Good, strong corner support. What's the down and distance? 2nd and 8. Throwing out cuts. Which QB? For 3rd and 4, dude. This is smart coaching, smart players. And, hey, man, he brought the runner in there, right? This is the runner. So let's believe he's the runner. If he wants to get cute and have him throw, then good luck. Let's stop the damn quarterback run and Wink and the players do it. So that's good stuff, man.
That's the play that Penn State tried to run on UCLA late in the game there to pick up the first down, and it got eaten alive.
Yeah, they didn't pull. Oh, Penn State didn't pull anybody though on that play. I watched it closely. They didn't pull anybody. Wisconsin.
They had a lead. They had two backs in the backfield. The one was the lead blocker. The other one was going to either take the handoff or fake the handoff.
Yeah.
But Aller kept it and got swallowed.
All right, 1st and 10. What do I got here?
It's just Bryce. He's just, for a young guy, this is impressive. You have to be able to go through your read. So here he is. He's looking to the left. That's 1. Nope. 2. Nope. I think he should have thrown it to 2 and then just dump it down to 3. That's Jordan Marshall out of the backfield, I think.
Yeah, that's great stuff. Be patient. We're not executing here. Yeah, we make this kid look like he's an All-American. I don't know if that's the same damn kid that Sprague doesn't block later on.
No, so they run a blitz off the top edge there, and I think McCulley thinks he's going to block the inside guy, and that guy blitzes in, and by the time he looks to the outside guy, it's too late, and it gets blown up.
Yeah, well, this is the great thing about running this gap scheme stuff, dude, okay? First of all, you're right. We're screwed up in a lot of ways. He's got to try to do a better job here, but our right tackle, his blocking rule is to just read gap down, block down. Anybody crosses my face, I block them, and this dude gets penetration, and the tackle doesn't keep the contact. He's got to try to keep a body on him and not let him get penetration. And that's the worst thing that happens. He gets penetration. He blows up our guard. So now our guard can't work in here. And then I thought that Bredesen should have read this thing and kicked out this guy, because I thought that's how you normally read it, even though we missed it here. But it's a dead play. He guessed right, but still we have answers for schemes. You know what I mean, dude? We should be blocking better.
So I'm having this issue right now with a little bit of Chip's route tree. This is 3rd and 2. Why are we the receiver on the bottom here is 7 yards past the line of scrimmage. The other guy's 1 yard past. The other guy's 4 yards past. Why aren't we just sitting at the right now? Bam. And that's McCulley. This is zone defense. He's got to sit in the zone. See how he's drifting?
Yeah.
Can't do that when you're in the zone, when you see zone defense. You have to sit down right there. The more you drift, the more you're drifting into a defender. It still should have been caught. I'm sure Max Rediston is just pissed off at himself for dropping that.
Yeah. All right, here's 1st and 10. I got 3 guys circled. What do I like here? Oh, I like that tackle up there, dude. Who is that up at the top? Is that Payne again? That's Payne. This stuff I like. This is Payne, right? Watch how he takes it.
No, I think that's I don't think that's Payne. Oh, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, look how he takes that guard and just stuffs him. Yeah. I love that. I love seeing that. Let's how's Eno Eto here?
Eto's a little bit better.
Yeah, and then Moore reads it. You know, this is it. You got to read. He's reading. You don't see reverse. I mean, there's nothing coming. You got to honor all this stuff before you come down and smash the back. Yep. You know, you got to read it. And I can tell he's reading it. He's going through his steps. So that's a good job by Payne. Good job by Moore. I like our backers in there. So that's good, dead 1 yard defense, man. Yeah, big seam in there. Wink is bringing guys. It was 2nd and 9. I don't want to beat up every play. Here we go again now. Second and 7. What's going on here? Okay, so this is a similar. Remember the first play of the game,
Yep.
Where he Barham was, again, he's going to learn this through reps, but the season's coming, man. I had 4 years to learn this stuff before I went on the field as an outside backer. He's been playing inside his whole life. Anyway, he's coming flatter. He's got his eyes up. He knows he's got a safety blitz coming off the edge, come flat, right shoulder, everything. Hit everything with your right shoulder. He coming flat. I'd like to see it even flatter right in here. But he drills it. He makes a play, knowing he has out. He's not – see, what you like about this dude, and you know from playing this position too, what you like about this defense is now let me pause it. You are not responsible for any reverse bootleg stuff. That other guy is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You come flat and you kill everything. So anyway, good job by him. Good defense called. Player executed. Coach called the right stuff. This is a great job by number 7. And this is why Joel Klatt and these guys, they drive me nuts. They're talking about everybody but number 7 on this play, who is what's his name again,
Metcalf, TJ Metcalf.
What a play. This is great. I'll tell you, when you watch a team play and you see guys making this kind of a play, as a coach, you'll say, oh, that kid's a good player. But when you see all of our dudes doing this stuff, that's Coach Morgan, man. This stuff, we do a great job with this. He jukes them. He's working outside. Okay, he misses them, but he slows it down enough for the game to arrive.
Well, you got to turn it into your help.
Yeah, and he does that. Great job by Metcalf. Good job, Coach Morgan, man. Nothing easy against these guys, man. We're running it in there, but it was no just knocking these guys off the ball. This is the kind of stuff we need against SC, dude. Talk to us here. This is a nice catch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if that's the right read. That's a quarterback wanting to make a play because he's not open, but he makes a good throw. Marsh makes a great catch. That gives the guy confidence. The receiver.
You're saying he might have had this curl route over here?
I don't know if you watch the tight end comes across.
Yeah.
So watch Klein out of the Y spot on the top right here. He's going to come over.
Klein coming across?
No, Klein's on the other side.
Oh, okay. Oh, up there. Yeah.
There he is at the end right there.
Yeah, I got you. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Listen, you want your quarterback taking some chances like this. Let's see what they can do. So, I'm Mr. Conservative. I just, like you said, I want to see 1-yard gains, and I want to see first downs. Get a first down, get a first down, get a first down, score a touchdown.
Yeah.
But you got some playmakers. Let them make a play.
We got number 4 too, baby. Our guy will make plays too, man. Good little run in there. Tough. 3-4 yards against these guys is tough. What do you see here?
So we're running 4 wide. It's 2nd and 5 inside the red zone, and we're running 4 wide. Watch. Where is the person that's going to pick up a first down if the deep routes? He's going deep. Tight end's going deep. The outside receiver's going deep. Why are we not either why isn't this guy the number 3 receiver from the bottom? Why isn't he running a drag, right? And why is nobody running a stop route? Look at all that space that McCulley had up there. Stop after the first down and get the first down. Now, I don't know Chip's route tree and, whatever. I'm just a guy sitting here talking with my buddy about football. But it seems to me we want to have some layers, and one of those layers would be somebody at the first down line, as a safety valve. We don't have it.
Yeah, they're bringing 6, and they execute it pretty good.
We
got 6
very
blocking,
well blocking out there.
Yeah. Yeah, they squeeze it. Yes, I hear you, man.
But I think, maybe they're thinking, hey, it's 2nd and 5. We're down here. Take a shot. Let's see if we can get a touchdown.
Yeah, let's see what I got here. 2nd and 3. Do I like this play? I think I do like this play.
Yeah, watch the edge. Square shoulders, pinching down that gap. That's good job by Brant.
This is team defense, man. This is knowing your role, play your gap.
It's a really smart job. You got number 9 at the top on the edge. Squeeze that gap. Square shoulders. Take on that pulling guard with your left shoulders so nothing gets outside of you. Linebacker fills in behind you. Safety's got outside of you.
Yeah.
Bingo, bango.
Yeah, this is a good job by Hausman. I mean, that's defense, dude. It's squeezing gaps, man. These 3 dudes are squeezing the gap. So now this, I talked about this when we looked at the Nebraska film, how that safety was on an island. We had the touchdown run. You know what I mean?
Yep.
This is a linebacker and an edge player helping our safety. So now he makes the play. There's no room in there. He's not in an island. So that's team defense, man. That's the way it's supposed to look. Squeezing it.
Great job.
Yeah, that's an overall team defense right there, man. Moving along.
Yeah, it was tough sledding there, obviously. This is experience here. He just, Sprague had a little bit of a tough game. He got beat inside a few times, got beat outside a few times. And it's easy to say, oh, this guy sucks. Get somebody else. He doesn't suck. He lacks experience. And Wisconsin has always had a good, solid, well-coached, especially in the lines, in the trenches. So he just needs more time on the job, and he'll get it. Who else are you going to put out there? Frazier? If Frazier was better, he'd be starting.
Yeah, this is tough stuff. If these stunts didn't work, people wouldn't run them, man, and they executed good.
They ran a little bit of a twist there. That's just experience will let you recognize that.
Yeah, this is, he's only rushing 4, but they do the stunt and. Yeah. No, Sprague has done. This was a rough game for him. Sometimes, it's the one guy. But what concerns me about this game, is that people are going to see the kind of guy Sprague may have trouble with. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, they're going to try and
they might try to match up, more of a smaller, quicker, athletic kid.
I thought that was a ballsy call, and I don't think anybody in the world expected that on first down, pinned deep in your end zone or down your field, we were going to run a quick slant. We just didn't execute.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look here. It's 2nd and 4, and this is okay, man. Don't let them think you're just going to run it on 2nd and 4.
Right.
I got
exactly. This is
I got
America's
this
rollout.
here. I got this here, Duuer. I think we found our 3rd receiver. In fact, he may be our 2nd receiver.
Oh, for sure.
You know, by the time we go to the Buckeyes come in town. But this is a no, yeah, you're right. You saw it too. I saw it when it was happening. That I thought the tight end was wide open too. Yeah, you're right. Maybe cut behind him.
I think, listen, it's easy for me, some old guy sitting here watching film that I can pause and rewind. And it's easy for me to say, hey, cut behind him. And that kid's a freshman playing in, his 3rd, 4th, 5th game. He'll learn. Yeah.
This kid from Wisconsin does a good job reading this. You play Michigan, you better be good at defending bubble. Yep. We're gonna put that ball in the gut. Maybe ride that out a little more. He doesn't ride it out too long. But that ride, this playing linebacker. When a quarterback rides that thing, I know it's hard to ride and throw, but it's going to get him, not stepping up so quick. But anyway,
Absolutely.
The kid does a good job. He recognizes it. And we don't get our tackle out there because the kid recognized it so damn quick. I think how they're coaching it is tackle's going to slap this guy, and then run out and get out there, slap and he just doesn't get there in time. I've got a running back circled here. What did he do? He reads it. He gets outside. This is Corum-like, isn't it, dude? There's ain't nothing in there.
Oh, his jump cuts are pretty. They're sweet.
So we're trying to run power in here. We're trying to block down. We're trying to, same thing we scored a touchdown. He's reading this block. What's he doing? He's wrong arming. He's making it bounce. So Bredesen's reading that block. What's this guy doing? So how's Bredesen taking him? He's nosing him up. This was a bullshit call. They call hold on this on Bredesen.
Yeah, it was a terrible call.
I thought it was weak as hell. Terrible. So Bredesen is nosing him up. The guy's really not taking a side. And Haynes reads it and gets outside the defense, and our receivers are doing something. I thought that was a BS call.
I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Holding
cheap call. This is the stuff that people are seeing and do when you play Michigan now. When they motion to empty or come out empty, it's slowing people down a little bit. What's it down in distance? 1st and 20. But I just think with Bryce Under and USC will do a ton of this too. You got a fast, athletic kid there. It changes some of your pass rush stuff.
That's Zach Marshall too, man. By the way, that guy is getting better.
Yeah, it's good to get the more guys you put in the game that are eligible receivers, and you throw the football to them, make them defend everybody. Yeah, I know. What are your thoughts on this play?
Don't throw this, or somebody didn't know what was going on. That backer picked up the tight end. The backside backer picked up Klein, and I don't see anybody else open. Again, nobody at the front of the end zone. Everybody in the back or the deeper part, and I'm just questioning that.
Yeah. You know what I'm wondering, dude? If Chip is thinking, let me run these guys vertical. Let me run dudes vertical and give this guy room to step up in the pocket. You know what I mean? I'm just wondering, is that something he's thinking that, if teams are defending Michigan and everything is always so here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just wonder. I'm just trying to justify and think about what some stuff he's doing. Anyway, I got Barham circled here. What does he do here? He's just going inside, Anyway,
I circled
Who do you
Watch
got?
more. He sees that this quarterback's running out. Now, if he runs forward to try and tackle the quarterback, he's going to leave that window open to hit that crosser. So he waits a little bit and then he charges forward. I think that's smart play.
Yeah.
If he charges
Now,
up right now, he's going to dump it to that crosser.
You know what, Dude? I think he's a flat. I wonder how they're coaching this, because is the tackle a contained player? Who's the contained player? That's what I mean. That's the question. If he's a flat player, then that's what he's doing. He's thinking, I got the flat, and the tackle's supposed to contain, and he's really not doing it, and he sees that he's not doing it. Yeah. Anyway, you're right. It's he saw that there was no contain on the quarterback. The thing I have here, is I wonder how much film he looked at. Did he know that this is not, this is not a 300-pound kid. This is probably a 260-pound kid.
He just gets his head over his helmet and lunges a little bit too much, and you can't do that. Not in the Big Ten. You're going to fall.
But that's too
bad, because otherwise that counter was open.
Yeah, it's correctable stuff. That's technique stuff. That's repetition stuff. We motion to empty, 2nd and 13. That's good. That's a good play design. Get us in. I like this kind of stuff. Because they're worried about Bryce. They're worried about Bryce running. Everybody has to always think about, what's he got, a spy here? What's this guy?
Yeah, well, he's got responsibility in that B gap. And
yeah, I like the Nebraska game. People are always going to look at him running for that touchdown. Where are we at here? But good break on the football. This is good defense. We're in zone coverage.
Yeah.
I like these breaks. We talked about this. Remember Coach Mo and all? I mean, we're reading the quarterback. We were all zone defense guys, right?
Yep.
Reading the quarterback. We're watching him. And soon as he's, you can't wait for the ball to be in the air. You got to start breaking. Right now, you got to start breaking. You know what I mean? Look
he's cocked. That ball's going to it.
Yeah,
you got to be careful, because USC's quarterback's good, and see this guy that's between the numbers and the hash.
The old pump fake.
Yeah, pump fake. The USC quarterback is infinitely better than this guy, and so the secondary is going to be tested like crazy.
Yeah. The defense. I don't know that their defense is going to be much better than Wisconsin's. The challenge is for our defense. That's the challenge. Yeah, there's your good break again by Barry. What's the down and distance? 1st and 10.
It's a great play, great catch. He had him beat. Now, a more experienced Bryce with a little more time, he might lead this guy and hit him in stride. Play action, got to get the ball out, get it up there. McCullough.
I just like the fact that we got freaks, dude. Ohio State ain't the only team that got freak receivers. We got some too, man. We got some dudes that'll help out our quarterback. Chip, simple for you. This stuff is we don't see the very beginning of it, but this is the stuff that gives you headaches as a coach. So we're shifting. We started out in a formation that was over here. These dudes are over here. And now they shifted. So now the defense has to line. We actually lined up with one time we lined up with nothing on one side of the center. I don't know if you saw that one play. Did you see that?
I didn't.
Anyway, I like shifting. I like motions. I like stuff. More in the book. Okay, this is what I was talking to you about the other day. Okay, we run from this shift. There's a quarterback. There's a running back here, right? This is a running back right here. Am I right? We snap the ball to the running back. You follow me?
Yep, I am.
Okay. So right now, these plays, they got to be in the book. if I'm coaching defense and I saw this formation and I saw this play, I have to honor this other stuff, even though they didn't run it. It's probably in the playbook. So you have to honor. Basically, you're defending Wildcat right now. You're defending Wildcat is what they would call it, right?
Yeah. So if you look, Bryce is lined up behind the guard. He's doing the clapping as if he's taking the snap. Right. He ain't behind the center.
But right now, as a defense, you're playing this dude. So you're playing Wildcat, right? And this is why this is good stuff. So it's real quickly changes. So defensively, you're going from Wildcat thought process, and now on the snap of the ball, now you got a mesh point, and now what? Now you got to go back to the dude that can really throw the football. Okay, and then they're running reverse off of it. Anyway, I like this stuff. It's a little 5-yard, 10, whatever it is. It's conflicting stuff that a defense has to deal with is what I like. You know, Dude? Are you there, Dude?
I'm here, baby.
Okay.
This is an excellent job. This is.
I thought maybe we were in film session and back in the day where you were falling asleep in the back.
I fell asleep one time. I fell asleep one time, and Lloyd was not pleased. Not pleased at all.
Coach Mo used to have a stand.
Man. Do not fall asleep in film session. Yeah, the little things is right. It's a great, man. Quick, bang, bang.
I tried to do that as a teacher.
It's terrible tackling by Wisconsin, but it's a great job by McCulley of not just assuming, oh, this guy's going to hit me, I'm going to have to go down. He just keeps running. This is really, and we needed this, man. Look at it. It's 10-7.
Yeah.
We're in a game that we shouldn't be in. We needed something to pick us up, and this did it.
Yeah, this is like easy stuff to execute. It's an easy pass, and we make them. We got them missing tackles. But yeah, dude, real quick, when I became a teacher, I wanted to have kids stand in class. The principal said, "Hey, man, you can't do that. This
is that cruel and unusual punishment."
Cruel and unusual. You ain't Coach
Dude, I don't know how you teachers do it. These kids today, they wouldn't like me.
Oh, they'd love you, dude. All right, here you go. A lot of stuff. Talk to us, dude.
All right, it's a zone blitz. This is what we've seen a lot. So we're going to blitz the linebackers up the middle, and it's going to look like a big blitzing rush with 7 guys. But the 2 edge guys are going to fake blitz and then drop back into their zone. Problem is, we're not getting pressure on this quarterback, which this is Wisconsin's first time starting quarterback. Imagine what USC's quarterback's going to do if they get all this time. This is just way too much time. He's standing back there. It's a perfect pocket. And he lobs up. It's a give and go, by the way. This is an out and up. It's a double move, and we are not very good on the double move.
Yeah. I wonder if we're showing. Anyway, I hear you, man. We got to find a way to get home. Somebody's got to, Wink is doing it to create conflict, but it's not fooling them there. What do we got here? We motion to empty. Easy stuff. Love it.
Bingo, easy peasy. Yep.
Draw. I like this play. I don't know what the hell they call it, but we've run it a few times, and it's been good for us. This play has been effective. And it hits anywhere on the front. So what's the down and distance here? It's 3rd and 3. And I've got Bredesen circled. What did he do here?
I had him circled. He kicks out the edge and then gets and seals the linebacker.
Yeah, we ran a play like this when I was coaching. The same exact technique. We called it SWAT to backer. Yeah. We call this technique SWAT to backer. So he's gonna pass pro, swat him outside, slap him, and then go get a backer. That's exactly how we coach it. Yeah, that's a technique that's coached. That's a good scheme, and that's good stuff. Moving along, got about 6 more plays. Let's see here.
You got to answer some questions too. Don't forget.
I got a question. Yeah, I got a question mark that this dude. He played the play. He's a smart kid. You know, you got to know who's in it. You got to know which guy's in there, man, when you run your reverses. Yeah. 17-7, 13 minutes. Dude, this rule it's interesting, man. You know, you can't chop. Like if this player comes out here, he cannot chop a defensive back because it's outside of the tackle box.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But they allow this guy who's outside the tackle box to chop our linebackers here. And I just question how that rule is enforced. It's like the only, you just pisses me off.
Yeah, I mean, we're here to protect the players, right? All of these rules.
Yeah, but you can chop him down and trash his knees. That's allowed. So I like zero here.
Chop guys. I remember Vitale would pull around the edge. He'd chop a DB 10 yards downfield.
Oh, it was allowed then, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they got rid of that rule. The linemen can't chop, and they shouldn't be able to chop them either, and they can't chop them either. But anyway, we got 4 dudes that can play in there, dude. Williams has done some good things. I like how he's punching here. This is a good, again, Scar getting excited over a 1-yard play.
That's because the defense built a wall.
I like Williams punching here, man. Watch him in here. He's going to punch. He's inside of that guard, and he just punches this dude and flat, he's playing on the line of scrimmage. Ain't nothing there, man. That's good. Then he drags it, though. He didn't get enough help. He did his job.
Watch this. Right, perfect ball placement, man. I love that.
Yeah, I was seeing him do this, and I saw him in high school play. I saw this dude doing this in high school, man. Just he's throwing a lot of balls
pass too. So if Morgan were to drop it, that's just an incompletion. That's just good football. Tough running.
Couple more plays. I've got 54. Dude, we ripped on him. But look at him here. Look at Sprague here. He pins him in. You know what I mean? That's not the same kid, though.
No, it's not the same edge defender, but it's the same Sprague.
It's the same kind of tech. It's a similar, did he learn from his other's mistake? Anyway, I want to compliment the kid. He pins this guy in. We saw Link with that huge block against Ohio State like that last year. You remember?
Yeah. Ohio State fans cry about that. It was holding. Shut up.
No, we pinned him in, man. Pinned him in.
Pump fake. Watch this pump fake. All right. So pumped it right there. Psych. And he gets that guy to come up. McCulley, who fiended blocking him, slips out. And this is a nice play. I really like this play. I like the pump fake. Play action, pump fake to the Morgan. Guy jumps up so he can get out of the way.
Deception, baby. All warfare is based on deception.
Well, and it's well executed. So you have a freshman quarterback, he's learning things. It's well executed. That means they're doing a good job in practice.
How about this, though, dude? This is the stuff that maybe the statue talking. Let's see. Get back into. Let's line up. Let's line up. They were going to go hurry, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So we got to line up. We can't dance. Where's the ball? First and goal. Look at we ain't moving. Wisconsin's tough to move, man.
It's a lot of beef in there.
We didn't. Let me tell you, this line of scrimmage, we ain't blowing them into Stadium Pauline. But what street was that back there on the other side of that stadium there?
Keach is just north of us. Keach.
Anyway, we're not knocking them off the ball, and our back finds a little seam in there, and he does a great job reading it. But Wisconsin was not no freaking lamb chops at that in the goal line.
Nope.
Anyway, listen. We were smart. We adjusted. We executed. We got to do all those things to beat USC. Hey, yeah. I'm doing a podcast with another guy, Pick Six, over on Bleacher Brothers. We're looking at the whole Big Ten. You want to take a look at Scar? We're covering all of the Big Ten, and we get into all the Big Ten talk. It's called Pick Six on Bleacher Brothers, but we got to be smart. We got to adjust. We got to execute to beat USC defensively. Any last thoughts on the film? That's I don't even know if I had a play here. Let's see.
I just, I mean, it wasn't as crisp as maybe we would have liked, but again, you're looking at a team that's starting a new quarterback. You've got a break here. Sometimes maybe they're working on some other things, whatever. They underestimated what Wisconsin can do on the first drive. They woke up and then went 7 straight Wisconsin drives without them ever converting a third down.
Yeah. This is why I wanted to highlight this last play, because this is how I want to leave my defense, because it's 3rd and 8 and we are they're motioning and we're adjusting. I'm watching dudes adjust, communicate. We've got a stunt called here. We execute. So I just like seeing this. We run a stunt here. Moore's on the inside. Rolder's on the outside. Moore comes free. So that's the image I'd want to leave my defense on. Going before we go to California is smart. Let's look at some last questions before we check out, dude.
Yeah, I was checking it out. They were just
anything Penn State.
Somebody wants Barham to still play linebacker. I don't know about that. The 3-man front with linebackers playing DN, we get ran on. Period. I don't know what that.
Yeah. Yeah, Barham he's got to keep learning, man. But the problem is we've had really good linebacker play. So it's not like those guys are hurting us at all.
Right.
Yeah, you got to trust your help at times. Bring the Payne. Yeah, Payne has been playing, man. We got 4 dudes that can play in there, man. 44 people giving 44 love. People questioning Sullivan. People questioning Wink on so much blitzing. They're questioning the 3-man front, boundary throws, throwing to the short side of the field because our team maybe more. They want more boundary throws. Run fits. We got to be good in run fits. I will say Wink game plan for Wisconsin will work better. Maybe our matchup will be better against USC, but they got a running quarterback. Andres, I let you down with Purdue. Purdue had 2 shots at the end to freaking win that game, to get one cheap one at the end, dude. I picked them as a winner, and they let me down. I had a bad week. I was 1-3 last week. I like Air Force this week getting points against UNLV.
I don't pay enough attention because
we're locking up
every single time. I think this is a sure thing. It's the wrong thing.
Yeah, Klein needs
whatever I say. Sometime if I say there's something a sure thing, always do the opposite, and you'll make money.
You're like Mush, huh?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Remember Mush? Klein step up again. I'll tell you, DTWA. I have a different definition of what step up means for a tight end. A lot of people think step up for a tight end means make catches. I want tight ends. Let's see a great game from him blocking too, though. You know what I mean? If we throw it one time, so that's what I'd like to see. USC is way better on defense. They are a little better than they were last year, possibly. We're going to find out. I mean, Illinois moved the ball on them, man. So I'm encouraged that US. When I first saw USC when I first saw USC earlier in the year, I thought, wow, their defense is really, really improved. But then when I look at them against Illinois, and they're okay. They got some. I think our defense is better. So
no, I think our defense is better. And I keep going back to the Illinois game. Illinois' quarterback is a good quarterback, right? He's a better pure passer than Bryce. He's more experienced. He's been around. He's just at this point, he's a better pure quarterback right now. We need to, as I said, set up the pass by running the ball. We need to dominate USC at the line of scrimmage on offense. So they have to adjust and try and devote more resources to stopping the run, which Play action pass is going to get them to suck up, and Bryce has an opportunity to hit some wide open guys on the play action. That's how I see it.
Yep. Anyway, dude, I'm confident. We're going out Thursday. I remember going out to Washington, flying out there, and it is a little hanging. That 3.5 hour flight. We flew
Time
out
screwed
Friday.
up. Yeah.
So I'm putting myself in that hotel. Yeah, they can go. They can get there. They can fly out. They can get a good night's sleep. The next day, they can walk around, go see the stadium. Get a little acclimated. And it might be a good thing to do that. They come home. They won't get home until, 2 a.m. But anyway, dude, I'm fired up. I'm confident. Our team is in a good place. This is a huge football game. This is a big challenge, and we're ready. Our quarterback has started 2 tough games on the road. I'm signing out. That's my last spot. I'm fired up. It's all go blue, dude. Talk to me.
Let's go blue. That's it, man. On to USC, on out west. A lot of fans out there at the Coliseum. Take it to them, boys.
A maze out, baby, in LA. Go blue, go do. It's all good.
Go blue. Good seeing you, Scar.